Hello Bethesda Chevy Chase High, this is Barbara Jean reporting to you with this year's news. And what news! I'm sure all of you have been practically biting your nails over the BCC High School nickname contest. As many of you may know, the contenders were the Bulldogs, the Blue Satans, the Barons, the Buccaneers, and our original nickname, the Highwaymen, was entered into the race as well. I'm pleased to announce that the winner, with 266 votes, is the Barons. This will be the school's nickname for the foreseeable future. As the world turns to military activity, so does Bethesda. I'd like to call a moment of appreciation for Irving Bragg and Charles Saxelby, two of our own seniors of draft age who were called to duty this week. Stay safe out there, boys. We all wish you luck. I hate to disappoint you all, but it's just in that the selling of chocolate milk has been halted by the school board. The decision was based on the fact that any form of chocolate contains theobromine, a stimulant and habit-forming drug which produces a craving for chocolate and diminishes an appetite for other food. So say so long to that last sip of chocolate milk, kids. I know I'll miss it. And now for the most outstanding piece of news. A spectacular fire razed the upper story of the Bethesda Chevy Chase High School last Wednesday night. The fire was estimated to have started a little before midnight. Nearly 3,000 people watched 6 fire companies fight the fire, which was visible for miles around. Fireman John Adair, who happened to be Bethesda Chevy Chase's very first graduate in 1926, was killed on the scene. We are all very grateful to him. The building is damaged, but still able to be used. Repairs will be done on mainly the attic and the cafeteria. Meanwhile, hate to break it to you, school will continue as scheduled. And now the latest in fashion. Wishbone jewelry is sweeping the country. Save the wishbones from Sunday's chicken, paint them with nail polish, and string them into necklaces or bracelet. Makes a novel adornment. The male influence continues to be a prevalent influence in the fashions of Bethesda's belles. Minnie Schrader and Dot Foster can be seen wearing their snappy plaid shirts from the men's department, and Irene Tilley is up to the minute in her man-tailored longer-length jackets. Cardigans and sweaters are getting longer and longer, but those good-looking plaid skirts, a necessity to all girls' wardrobes, are getting shorter and shorter. Well, Bethesda Chevy Chase, that seems to be all, at least for now. I'll see you next time. So long. Oh, and you mustn't forget to follow me on Twitter, at BarbaraJean1940. Oops, wrong era.
I'm Janet Snape. I was graduated in 1950. I'm looking here trying to see what is going on.
Known as Tony Ward, TONI, my real name is Tanisa, TONISA Ward. I went to Kensington Junior High. If you notice, they're building another school right on the exact same spot where the junior high was. This is going to be a middle school now. And when we were in junior high school, this isn't very nice to tell you, but the counselor came around the class and said, if you're going to college, you go to BCC. If you're not, you go to Blair. But anyway, so my mother said that even if I didn't think I was going to go to college, I should go to BCC. So education has a lot of value, and I value the education that I got at BCC, although if I'd been a better student, I probably would have benefited even more. I think it was, I don't know if I'd use the word conservative, but traditional.
Traditional.
Yeah, the things had not changed very much. Football, as you say, and things like that were sort of established and in place. They were not going to be changed. Also, for some reason, even good students had to be very careful about wearing the right kind of clothes. At least that's what it seemed to me, that because we were from Kensington, we were not quite on the same level as people from Bethesda or Chevy Chase.
What were the expectations on with young women back then?
Oh, secretaries and nurses, maybe a nurse.
So even if you went to college, that was the most high-level position you could have.
And I don't think
Teaching.
Go ahead.
Teaching would be...
Teaching, but I don't remember there being a lot of emphasis on anything except you probably would get married before you finished college, and which many people did. So I think there were not high expectations for a career. I think in my class of 53, there's only one woman who was a doctor. I don't think there are any, I don't know of any lawyers.
Well, I went to college, but came back and started working for Geico, so
For Geico.
I was there for 39 years. My father was gone. He was a chaplain during the war. So, and he was on Guam at the hospital. So he had all the things like MASH. And in addition, he did all the funerals. I remember my mother and I and my sister went down to the Translux Theater where they showed things from the war for, all the time. Just rotated. And we actually saw my father standing in front of the cemetery.
In one of the reels.
We stayed for the next show.
Had a big impact on me in elementary school, and I never will forget the day that the war was over. We had a parade around the school building, and I played the clarinet, and we played the Star Spangled Banner and My Country 'Tis of Thee as we were marching around. But yeah, the war, Second World War, had a big impact in St. Louis, and there was a lot of anti-Semitic talk that puzzled my brother, and maybe kept saying to our parents, what do they mean? Why are they saying those things? And parents try to explain it.
Located 2 miles from the nation's capital, Bethesda Chevy Chase High School has long been a hotbed of student activism. Take 1970. The U.S. had just invaded Cambodia. En masse, BCC students walk right out of class and march into downtown Bethesda to protest. The very next year, students vote to abolish the National Honor Society. That same year, they boycott the prom. In the last few years alone, BCC students pushed back against an administration trying to pull school newspapers from their hands, created a viral video campaign about the struggle of being a minority student at a predominantly white, affluent high school, created an awareness campaign of sexual violence on college campuses, which captured both the imagination of the school and the attention of the Obama White House, and, did we mention, climbed trees to stop the advance of chainsaws. For generations, BCC barons have been drawn to the same wellspring, a wellspring of what Principal Dr. Jones calls a sense that they can act upon their world and make a difference. What is possible? Strike that. What will happen when the entire student body of BCC unites behind one social cause, unites behind one social action, the entire school for an entire school year? That is the challenge. Welcome to Activist High.
Girls' sports teams just don't receive the same amount of support and recognition that the boys' teams do.
Immigration is a political, social, and ethical issue in today's society.
At our high school, the cafeteria is the biggest sign of socioeconomic disparity.
Together, we can end sexual violence.
I really like the one that talks about improving the cafeteria.
I think probably one of the main issues that I've seen is the prejudice against people based on where they live.
Our plan is to make the cafeteria a place where students of all backgrounds can come together and not feel ashamed to be in the cafeteria.
There are about 2,000 students who attend BCC High School. At least 6% of them are on farms. The 6% that are on farms are mainly Hispanic and African American. Sometimes I'm on farm, sometimes I'm not. Got a little fluctuating thing going on there. But in the 10th grade, I remember walking to the cafeteria and getting some french fries or something and walking down the hallway, you know, just minding my business. And some people from my classes were coming up to me asking if I was really eating the cafeteria food as if it was something that was unheard of.
The cafeteria is a very chill place, but if I had to choose, I'd rather go out for like open lunch.
So we've definitely noticed that there's an effort in BCC to close the achievement gap, but the cafeteria is enforcing the achievement gap because we make it a place where it's literally the destination for kids on free and reduced meals, and that's not fair to them because they feel embarrassed to be in there because they know it's like the place for them. And I've heard it be referred to as the ghetto by multiple people. And I went in there a few weeks ago and one of the security guards literally asked me if I was lost and was wondering why I would be in the cafeteria because I'm a white girl, and that shouldn't be the case. It should be a place where all students are together and it's not weird for anyone to be in there.
Okay, so we've been standing out here, well, some of us like the entire day, and the only time the administration has been out here to talk to us at all was to keep us from moving closer to a tree. And now that we're standing over here, then maybe we're gonna get someone to come out, but we've been standing here for like 15 minutes. And so we didn't know this was happening. We haven't gotten any information. They haven't talked to us. Even they were trying to prevent us from moving closer to the tree. They haven't given us any further information about why this might be necessary. All they've been doing is trying to stop us, calling our parents, taking down our names. And yeah, so the administration needs to come talk to us at least.
And students felt like they weren't informed enough about what was going on and weren't really warned that this was going to happen. So a lot of us like sat in a tree that they were going to cut down. I think someone like tied themselves to the tree with a rope or something. And the point of it was to keep administration from letting these trees get cut down.
Where we are now is just county. There's no incorporated anything looking at. So we're covered by the county law, which is the tree canopy law, which means you can take down any tree you want on private property for any reason at any time, and you do not have to replant. If you disturb the soil, depending on the amount of soil you disturb, you either have to plant or pay into a fund. Most people, most builders pay into the fund. And the trees, so we're working with the county programs to try to get the trees back. And trust me, I am writing to everybody and saying, are you paying attention to what's going on at BCC? And it's only going to be exacerbated by the Purple Line, and when they clear cut for that, where they're also not going to be replanting a whole lot back in the area because of the space constraints.
One of the reasons is because it happened while there were PSATs, so most people weren't at school or were at the PSATs, and that's another thing. I don't think people really know that happened, and it was very much a part of like the renovation stuff that's going on at the school. So I don't know. I think that it's just something that people viewed as a separate issue, and last year was kind of, I don't know. I feel like last year a lot of people participated in the protest who weren't actually passionate about what was happening, and that it was more just a thing that a lot of people were doing, and it's fun to protest things and like not go to class and be against administration.
So a lot of times when there's construction, trees end up having to come down. Sometimes there's no way around it. Sometimes there is. In this case, a lot of the trees had to come down along here and throughout the site for access for the stormwater management plans and for the staging of the construction. And you can see even from the pine tree picture on the wall there, you know, these these were kind of an important part of the school. They were an important part of the neighborhood.
Tell me hurry up and buy. If everybody is somebody, tell me who am I? The same figure who came from Anguilla, ain't nothing different. I think I'm addicted to
Do you think you live in fight? Stayed on your conscience. Over the key. Your eyes skim surface too deep. Place you used to hide.
We're living in some times that's the craziest. They say these legislators are the laziest. Dedicated religious figures have gone atheist. Each and everything must change. There's no escaping this. Go and get the bolt cutters. Open the floodgate. Any relationship I've ever been in was love-hate. They shot my cousin, he died. It wasn't justified. I guess I'll see him if I make it to the other side. The corner deli owner tell me hurry up and buy. If everybody is somebody, tell me who am I? The same figure who came from Anguilla, ain't nothing different. I think I'm addicted to pain killer. I'm unpermitted to enter the village of Shangri-La. I'm depicted as being the killer, the dangerous, huh?
We're not allowed to have a voice. We ain't allowed to think. You feel me? But I'm a whole human being. You feel me? It's like I could break somebody down using violence or my mind. I'm a whole human being. I bleed, I think, I feel. Just like a white kid. I have a dream.
Barron Pride is excellence and integrity and putting that into everything that we do and not settling for any less.
I think there really is something about BCC that is truly like no other school or any other community I've been a part of. Like, you know, our constant awareness, our constant progressiveness, our ability to innovate and constantly create is something that is so uniquely ours and something, part of the reason why I love to call myself Barron.
I think what makes a community is many different people who have a special bond with each other, and I think that everyone at BCC does have a bond in some sort of way, whether it's a friendship or just an educational bond, and I think that creates a community.
This school has introduced me to the most instrumental people in my life, and without them I would not be who I am today.
I think there's something so special about a community that sort of enables us to, you know, that it not only includes everyone, but stimulates and promotes constant change. It's a body that's constantly improving, constantly fixing itself, constantly expanding. I mean, you know, at BCC, you really can do anything you set your mind to.
I think that my favorite thing about BCC would be the amount of freedom I have had to be able to really figure out who I am and to be able to use it as a safe experimental environment because, you know, I haven't always been Cameron, and I think that this school really gave me the place and the support to figure out who I am.
This school is definitely a community, and sometimes it feels even more so like a family. The faculty, the students, every single person here has something to bring to the table, and you can just really feel that.
Barons are definitely caring. We're very fun, and one of my favorite words is we're quirky. And that's because we just have people doing all sorts of different things. So we have people in clubs, we have people in athletics, we have people who have purple hair and blue hair, and brunettes and blondes, and people who cuff their pants and people who don't. There's just like lots that we like have to offer as people, and we're all different, but also all willing to kind of come together.
What I love about BCC is its diversity. As a student body, like, we're just very diverse, and this goes from race, from ethnicity, to gender, to clubs, to riding sports, to riding the arts. BCC as a whole is just diverse.
I myself am Puerto Rican and Black, and I feel accepted here. Every single person here has something different, and you can see almost every part of the world in this school, and I think that's amazing.
I'm extraordinarily proud of BCC's willingness and history of taking on difficult social issues. Teaching at this school, I will never underestimate teenagers and their ability to affect the world they live in.
Being a Baron means having a passion, and having Baron pride means showing other people why it's important.
Barons are different than anybody else because we strive to be the best, and we don't accept anything other than being number one. On Palms we say, you don't work until you get it right, you work until you can't get it wrong. So for us as Barons, that means being number one and not accepting anything below that.
I think what makes Barons different is having 300 people show up for a football game despite not having a home field every time.
Baron Pride is appreciating all the students and all the faculty here at BCC and knowing that you're a part of something so much bigger than just yourself.
Baron Pride is knowing where you came from and not knowing where you'll go, but always remembering that the blue and gold got you there.
I learned that we all have problems and we're never alone, even though sometimes we may feel like we're alone. We're not. And that there's always someone who wants to listen to what you have to say. And there's always somebody who wants to give you a hug. And I love that.
I'm proud to be a Baron.
I'm proud to be a Baron. I am proud to be a Baron.
I'm proud to be a Baron.
I'm proud to be a Baron.
I am proud to be a Baron.
I'm proud to be a Baron.